You're watching Retirement Talk with Eric Carney, Southwest Florida's retirement television. He's an author, a radio host, a fiduciary, and Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor. Here is Senior Investment Advisor Eric Carney.
Welcome to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I am joined today by Eric Carney and Joseph Lanza of Retirement Wealth Advisors. To our viewers at home, do you have a retirement plan that's going to last in the long run? We're going to spend some time talking about that in today's episode. Eric, how are you today?
I'm great, Cynthia. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. And Joseph, how are you?
Excited to be here, Cynthia.
I am too. I'm so excited because I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm thankful that we have this time to be together. I know you've been so busy, and so today's show is going to be great. I know the viewers are excited about it. So talking about all of the crazy things that are happening right now in this economic landscape, this ever-changing economy, people really want to have a retirement plan that's built for the long run. And Eric, you have been in the market for quite some time now, a financial planner, if you will. What are you seeing lately that may be on top of the clients' minds?
Yeah, Cynthia, I don't think people are really very excited about their retirement as they should be. And I don't think that they're very prepared. And so what we've been seeing over the past year is I'm not so sure that people feel comfortable about calling us and saying, Eric, I'm not feeling confident about my retirement. I just don't know what to do. So imagine when you go to the gym, you know that the gym is good for you. We all know that we probably will put ourselves in a better position, right?
Right.
But signing up for the gym is very difficult. And so once you get to the gym and all of a sudden you're coached and you're mentored and all of a sudden you get into it, you start to ask yourself, is the weight getting lighter or am I just getting stronger? And what you realize is you're becoming more aware of what your body's capable of doing. You're becoming better equipped. Now all of a sudden your confidence is starting to rise. It's no different than coming in, talking to us and saying, look, I need a financial plan. I'm overwhelmed by this. And look, inflation has been a huge issue. Market volatility has been all over the place. And so instead of doing something, instead of being proactive, we're actually shutting down and doing nothing about it. And we're actually getting excited about a 4.5% or a 5% CD. That kills me. When you really take a look at the aftermath of a 4.5% CD after taxes and inflation, it's really not doing anything to complement anyone's net worth. And so what we really have to do is, again, we really want to kind of embrace financial planning and say, look, I want to go through the process. Let me become better equipped.
Sure, because then I'll be better for it in the long run, no matter what happens.
Right.
One of the other things that we're talking about today would be the political landscape. So many people right now are really caught up with what's happening in that arena. What guidance do you have for those folks?
Yeah, so we take a look at both geopolitical risk and also domestic political risk. So when you take a look at geopolitical risk, it's a lot more than you actually think. You have to think about what is investable, what is not investable. And all of a sudden, we take a look at things that are on the surface. Russia and Ukraine, what's going on in Israel, what's happening in Germany with all the immigrants coming in, what's happening in our own country. But what's really happening is there's actually a war on international waters, both above and below. You have pirates that have been invading cargo ships for years now. That's above the water. Below the water, there's other countries that are trying to control that as well. When you think about outer space, now all of a sudden you have communicative systems up there, you have weaponry systems, internet systems, you've got all these systems that are up in space. So there's space wars, there's a space race. That is also geopolitical risk. But then when we also take a look at domestic risk, we have to take a look at what our president is doing. And there's so many people that say, Cynthia, I'm just going to wait to see what happens. My answer is, what happens to what? What are we waiting for? Because domestic political risk has been happening for 50 years in our country. What are we waiting for? I'm not worried about who is in the presidential White House. I am worried about the administration's policies. I am only worried about your financial plan. And so what we have to do is, really what we have to worry about is Congress. There's 535 voting members. 100 of those are senators. They are really the ones that are writing policies and bills and funding government programs. That's what we should be paying more attention to. But more importantly, let's pay attention to what we can control and what we cannot control. And there's too many people that are focused on things, almost hyper-focused on things that we can't even control. That's where it needs to stop.
I agree, and I think the media has so much to do with that because it builds fear in people, and they just don't know which way to turn unless they're watching the show. And then the course is clear.
Right.
Absolutely.
And we have become the media, haven't we? Cynthia, you and I have been working together for over 5 years doing these shows. So we are the media. I have to realize that we are also educating. We are also on TV. People are also looking for us for ideas. And the thing is that this is where we want to put a different spin on this. You know, we've been doing this show for over 5 years. The camera crew that we work with, Cynthia, Randy, Stephanie, all the people that we work with, Sean, my sound guy, we put a concerted effort into putting in a good show. This is another form of media, but it's financial media. And what we want to do is we want to put a positive spin on it and say, look, retirement planning is not always easy, but if you educate yourself and you're actually out there, you can make a difference. And this is what's going to separate a lot of people from a lot of people that aren't doing so well in retirement is the discipline that they have towards their retirement.
Well, Eric, you and Joseph are definitely the bright light that shines in the darkness because people look at you both for guidance and advice, and you deliver it so well each and every week. It's an honor to be with you both. Joseph, inflation, oh my gosh, what a hot topic. People are so concerned about inflation, and especially people that are in the retirement years. How do you help your clients navigate through the world of inflation right now? Because everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, there's no doubt the past 3 years has been crazy to see how quickly inflation can increase the price of goods. And over the last 3 years, the cost of eggs are up 71%.
Wow.
A loaf of bread is up 32%. Yet we hear the government talking about inflation coming down, but nobody seems to be feeling prices coming down. And that's because they're referring to the rate of change in inflation coming down, which means your expenses next year are not going to be any less than they are this year. They just may not increase by as high of an amount. And this is why it's so important to focus on building that increasing income in retirement, and why it's so important to pay attention to your rate of return year over year, because you want to make sure that you're outpacing inflation and maintaining that purchasing power.
That makes perfect sense because a lot of people don't factor in inflation, and that's so important to talk about because people can be caught off guard if they're not prepared for it.
Right, and if you were factoring in inflation before the past 3 years, when inflation was maybe 0 or 0.5% in some of those years when it wasn't a hot topic, that's when you should have been factoring in inflation, at least an average rate of inflation. If you were doing that, when we get hit with this heavy inflation, you're not going to feel it as much in your financial plan. You've already been preparing for that inflation. That's what you have to do moving forward as well.
Joseph, thank you. Well, Eric, I have a question for you, but I want to wait until after the commercial break because you have a very special message for our viewers at home.
Yeah, absolutely, Cynthia. Look, if you guys feel like you're out there in a financial no man's land, you really are looking for a second opinion, or you want to be put through a financial planning process, give us a call today. Let's get that income plan done for you. Let's go to myIncomePlan.com, sign up, and get your very own income plan done. Give us a call today.
Eric, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen, 1-800-779-1942. We realize you're in the viewing audience today and you might be asking yourself a lot of questions surrounding the economy right now and how your retirement plan is placed. Do you have one for the long run? That number to call is 800-779-1942, or you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Retirement Wealth Advisors, and you can claim your spot accordingly. You deserve it. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Eric and Joseph when we return.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams? Eric and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you. They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, they'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy. Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement. Because every dream needs a plan. Call Eric today and schedule your visit. You only retire once. So let's get it right the first time.
Welcome back to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Eric Carney and Joseph Lanza of Retirement Wealth Advisors, and we're talking all about your retirement plan for the long run, no matter what. Eric, I want to talk to you about a very important topic, healthcare costs. It's on everyone's mind again. And how do you help combat people that are facing healthcare costs that perhaps aren't covered by Medicare? What can they be doing? How do they prepare for these unexpected costs?
Yeah, so unfortunately, people are excited to get to Medicare. 65, I don't have to pay for this, but there's so many things that are associated that are not paid by Medicare. And if anybody takes a look at dental costs lately, they are through the roof. If you get a cracked tooth, you're looking at $6,000 to $8,000 just to have that repaired. The amount of money that goes out of our office on a monthly basis towards dental bills is staggering to me. Autumn will turn around and, hey, we have to get this client so much money, they're having dental work. I'm shocked at these prices, and that's not covered by Medicare, nor are hearing aids, foot care, massage therapy. There's a lot of things that are not covered that are basic necessities that we need. So we do need health care. The other thing is what our clients are looking for is they want to be proactive and they want to be preventative. And actually, we're bringing up a DNA methylation test. This is actually a genetic methylation test that you can have the kit sent home to you. You swab your mouth, you send it in, and what they're doing is they're actually identifying what supplements you could be deficient in.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind, we are not doctors, but what it is that people are okay with aging, but not okay with deteriorating. And so what this is doing is it's highlighting a few different things that your body could be deficient in. So if all of a sudden you have a fatigue issue, you have sleepless nights, maybe eating, maybe it's your energy levels, a lot of times what these supplements are doing is helping you actually put you in a better position. So that's a DNA methylation test.
That's neat.
The other thing that we're doing is we're helping people get a heart screening. And it's where you can actually call and they do a heart screening. This is something that your doctor does not do. And what it does is it's identifying the cardiac calcium in your body and seeing if you could be a possible candidate for an unknown heart attack. There's something that I don't talk about very much, and maybe I've never even mentioned on here. I lost my brother-in-law prematurely, very quickly, to a massive heart attack. It happened quite a while ago. I still can't believe that it happened to him at a young age. Nobody had any idea. So that was a huge loss for us.
Yes.
And also with our clients, we will get a call and we'll hear that they had a massive heart attack and just passed away.
Oh my gosh.
So I had a client that came to me and they said, Eric, please tell your clients about this heart screening. I want to try to save someone else. So again, if you're in the Florida area, even if you're out of state, you can look up heart screening and you can get this done. It's actually very inexpensive to do. And again, what our clients are doing is they're trying to be proactive about their health.
Yes.
And anytime that you can do something like that, it could reduce your costs down the road. So there's a lot of things other than financial planning that we're trying to get into.
Yes.
Again, we want you to be trying to live the very best retirement that you can, as healthy as possible. And actually, the healthier that you are, the less it actually costs.
Absolutely. Diet, nutrition, exercise, all of that plays a part in your overall health, especially as you get up in years.
Right.
But that heart screening, that sounds like a very incredible option for people to really know what's going on inside. Absolutely. Well, Joseph, also, I want to talk a little bit about taxes because obviously that's another really hot topic right now.
Yeah.
So at Retirement Wealth Advisors, you spend a lot of time talking about tax solutions. Tell me a little bit more about that, please.
Well, majority of Americans have been using 401ks or IRAs to save for retirement, which are tax-deferred accounts. So your money goes in, you get a tax deduction for that. It grows tax-deferred. Anytime you pull income out of there, it's taxable income to you. Right now, there's over $40 trillion in these types of accounts just in America, which means there's over $40 trillion that has yet to be taxed. The funny thing about taxes is whenever I ask somebody how they feel about their tax situation, how much they have to pay, everybody always moans and groans, and trust me, I get it. But in reality, we're in some of the lowest brackets that we've been in history. In the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, our highest tax bracket didn't get below 70%. Today, our highest tax bracket is 37%. Now you look at the national debt that we're in, where every 100 days right now, we're going into roughly another $1 trillion of debt.
Wow.
So how long can the government sustain historically high debt with historically low taxes? More than likely, we're going to be looking at higher taxes coming soon. So now is the time to be proactive, take advantage of today's lower rates in order to lessen your future tax liability.
And when we be talking about things such as Roth conversions, Joseph, is that kind of what you're talking about as one of the solutions potentially?
Yep, it could be a solution for your situation for sure. You always want to make sure that there's never a good blanket solution for everything that involves taxes.
Right.
Everything should be custom tailored to your specific situation, especially when you're involving taxes. Everybody's at a different bracket level. Everybody has different income sources and how those are taxed as well. So you always want a custom approach to your tax plan.
Joseph, thank you. Eric, when I think about life in Southwest Florida, I'm thinking about a dynamic lifestyle, like a really fun, vibrant, exciting lifestyle. How do you help plan for lifestyle changes for your clients?
Yeah, this is the fun part, the goals and objectives. Like, and again, this is where we say, why are we fearing retirement? Let's be excited about it. You know, like all of us, everybody in this room, we work so hard, right? And like, we go to work and we come home and we're like, oh, I wish I had more time to do this.
Yes.
Well, in retirement, you do. And look, you have fun, friends, family, boating, golfing, the beach, theater, plays. There's so many different things that you can do. And so now all of a sudden we're realizing that, especially after COVID, people are looking for more memories. They're looking for more experiences. And along with those experiences come expenses.
True.
It's expensive to do this kind of stuff. And, you know, we all laugh about Taylor Swift. We all laugh about Beyonce tickets or even Morgan Wallen. But guess who actually costs more than all of those?
I want to guess. Can I? Garth Brooks.
Nope. Oh. Good guess, though. Adele.
No.
Adele.
No way.
Yep. Higher than all the other ones that we talked about. And when I talk to clients, I'm blown away at how much they're spending on ticket sales and then travel and hotel, dinner, eating out, and everything else like that. So again, it is getting expensive and we have to be prepared for that. But again, you want to live the retirement that you actually want to live, not be like, oh, I got a budget for this and that, and not be doing anything fun. So a lot of times that's what we're actually factoring in the financial plan is your goals, objectives, and all the fun things that you actually want to do.
I love that. Joseph, talk about fun things. What are your clients doing right now? Do you have anyone that took an exotic vacation, maybe climbed Mount Everest, went on an RV trip? Who's doing what?
I think the thing that has exploded, and Eric can kind of confess to this too, is pickleball is become the number one activity that every retiree is doing right now, I think. I mean, in Cape Coral, the city of Cape Coral, there's opened up a new pickleball court. I think it has 32 courts just in this, and there's a monthly membership that you can be a part of. It's definitely the new hot activity. So
do you play?
I do. It is very fun. Yeah.
Is it? I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it similar to tennis?
It is, but it's easier.
I know about that.
Ouch. Oh, pickleball and tennis should not be in the same sentence. That's all I can say.
It's easier.
I love it. Well, Eric, my next question I'm going to guide to you, but we're going to take a short commercial break, and I know you have a very special message that you would like to say.
Sure. Hey, everybody out there. Thank you so much for the positive feedback that we receive every single week. And again, if you feel like you're out there looking for a second opinion, go to myincomeplan.com and get signed up for your very own income plan. Let's see where you're headed. Let's see if we can help you, put you in a better position. Give us a call today.
Eric, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call is on your screen, 1-800-779-1942. We want your retirement plan to last the long run, no matter what happens in the economy, and this is your opportunity to do so. 1-800-779-1942. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. When we come back, Joseph is giving pickleball lessons. Stay tuned.
And we are back today with Donna Crone, Certified Financial Planner of Retirement Wealth Advisor, who heads up our financial planning department. And again, we are talking about another subject, interest rate changes. So Donna, what can you say about interest rate changes?
Well, Eric, interest rates impact the decisions that we make with our money. So for example, in a high interest rate environment, interest rate sensitive investments may become more desirable, or maybe borrowing money, not as much. The financial plan allows us to evaluate those options relative to a person's goals, their needs, as well as their risk tolerance. But also important is that we can see how it plays out over a period of time. The financial plan is also a critical tool in indicating when we need to make changes in an investment strategy because of a fluctuating interest rate environment. And Eric, you know, a lot of investors struggle with that.
Yeah, that's so true. So as we get into retirement, as we get a little older, we want to start being more conservative. The problem is, how do you do that when you have a rising interest rate environment and literally bonds and interest rates have an inverse relationship to each other? There are alternatives out there. So if you feel like this is an issue with your retirement or your portfolio, or even trying to generate income, give us a call today. Let's get a second opinion on that financial plan, your income plan. Let's get you in front of a certified financial planner like Donna and get you situated today. Donna, thanks for being here today. We always appreciate it. Cynthia, back to you.
Aw. Welcome back to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Eric Carney and Joseph Lanza of Retirement Wealth Advisors. And to our viewers at home, Joseph forgot his paddle, so we don't have pickleball lessons today, but we are going to talk about interest rates. Another thing that people are really paying attention to, especially the past few years, investors are tied up with interest rates right now. Let me ask you, how does this impact your client base overall?
Right. Well, it was no secret that interest rates were going to be going up 3 years ago, heading into 2022, with inflation running rampant and rates at nearly 0%. Plus, the Fed quite literally said, expect multiple rate hikes heading into 2022. Now, as an investor, you want to make sure that you're being proactive with your investment selection, that nothing is being set and forgot about. And when interest rates go up, bond prices go down. Yet still to this day, we see many investors, a lot of which who are working with an advisor, who have had bond funds in their portfolio over the last 3 years. The majority of these funds, rates of return over that 3-year period is negative, which means nothing was done to get them out of this toxic asset class. And this is exactly the kind of static wealth management that's not going to work in retirement, nor can you afford it. You want to make sure that somebody is actively managing that portfolio, whether it's you or an advisor, and that they're moving you into the most relevant sectors of the market for your situation.
Joseph, thank you so much. Eric, we've talked about interest rates, inflation, political risk, volatility. What can you do overall with the financial plan, the income plan, and the portfolio to calm your clients? There's so much unrest right now, like we talked about in the first segment, a lot of noise out there, a lot of media. What can you do to provide calmness and clarity?
You know, I think what it is, Cynthia, is that whatever the hot topic is, clients are jumping on it, or retirees are jumping on it. And they're like, look, inflation is going to ruin us. And I'm like, well, what about volatility? What about interest rate risk? What about healthcare costs? If there's so many moving parts when it comes to financial planning, why aren't we trying to find a concerted effort and consolidate all of our problems into one thing? And that is through a financial plan. You know, a financial plan and an income plan is going to guide you through difficult waters. And what people are really looking for is retirees want to restore the system that made them wealthy. They want to embrace financial planning, income planning, tax planning, a sophisticated portfolio. They want panoramic planning. They want to be open to new ideas of products, tools, and investments. They want a fiduciary responsibility. They want to know that their advisor is actually listening to them. They hear them. And we can say, look, we know that there's market volatility. We understand that there's rising interest rates. This is what we've done to combat that. That's great for our client base. The problem is there's too many people out there that don't have this. And what I always say is there's a lot of different tools that people need. We need to get back to sound financial planning, where we're actually sitting down with a client. Forget the Zooms. I've never been a Zoom fan.
I know.
And everybody says that in my office. Oh, Eric, you got a Zoom. I'm like, ugh.
I know.
In person, face to face. If you're serious about your finances, we are serious about working with you. But I want to shake your hand. I want to look you in the face. I want to understand your goals and objectives. What are your concerns? There are financial hurdles after financial hurdles out there. How are we going to get through those? How are we going to get through difficult times together? And that's through building a financial infrastructure. That is truly what people are looking for anymore.
Yes, they are. And with Zoom, I never know where to look. It drives me nuts. So I have to talk about emotional part of investing, if you will, because even when you're taking a look at someone's portfolio and you de-risk someone's portfolio, there still can be emotional reactions that take place. How do you help deal with emotion reactions?
So what's interesting is Earlier this year, we actually went through and we sent out an email and we called clients. We are about to de-risk your portfolio. This is when the market's at an all-time high. Talk about emotions. People are like, I don't want to de-risk anything. I'm doing great. The market's at an all-time high. But a lot of people took our advice. We de-risked their portfolio. We actually peeled off gains, de-risked it, and lowered their volatility. Now, there were some clients that didn't. But as soon as you go through a market pullback or a violent market correction, all of a sudden everybody wants to de-risk their portfolio. It's too late at that point. This is where people have to really start following the advice of a proactive advisor. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who have gotten poor advice, and so they're not following up on it. I want to keep riding the wave. I want to keep making more money. More money never was really the goal. Financial freedom is always the goal. Not a higher rate of return, not more money, but being free. Being free to be able to live the life that you actually want in your retirement is truly what people are looking for.
And Joseph, that peace of mind, you cannot put a price tag on. You're actually allowing someone to truly enjoy their retirement years stress-free.
Right, that's the whole point of the financial plan, is to make sure that you are going to be okay. Whatever scenario that you can think of that you're going to want to throw into that financial plan, let's throw it in there. Let's throw in more years of high inflation. Let's throw in market corrections. We can show you exactly how you're going to get through those difficult times and how we can power through them and still have a successful retirement, so you can actually enjoy retirement, so you can actually play pickleball as much as you want, and you're not worried about those market pullbacks anymore.
Absolutely. And Eric, only a minute and a half left of the show this week. Special message to the viewers at home. Let's spend some time talking about that.
So again, there's political events, geopolitical risk, interest rate changes, inflation, market volatility. A lot of people are so overwhelmed by this. Don't let it be overwhelming like going to the gym. Become better equipped, become more knowledgeable. Get out there and say, look, I want to go to myincomeplan.com. I want to sign up for this. I want to get a financial plan done. I want to get an income plan done. I want to understand where I am. Remember, life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. Pick up the phone, give us a call today, and let's just start that conversation. We look forward to meeting you.
Eric, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, we'd like to thank you for spending time with us today. That number to call is 1-800-779-1942. You deserve to have peace of mind in the retirement years, and all you have to do is pick up the phone and call in 1-800-779-1942 or click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Retirement Talk with Eric Carney.
Hey, Southwest Florida, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions after today's show, please give us a call.
Remember, you only retire once. Let's get it right the first time. Have a great week and an even better retirement.